Hello and welcome everybody to the live stream here today on this Thursday afternoon. Thanks everybody for joining us. I see we have some guests on Zoom there, which is awesome. Welcome, Rob.
Yes, welcome.
And we are streaming on Facebook and we are streaming on YouTube as well. So we are covering the AgriDome today. I've got my resident AgriDome expert here, Charles, with me today. And on the outside to answer any questions on Zoom and on Facebook and YouTube is Willie Pollin. So thanks for joining us, Willie. And I think, let's see, Charles. I mean, you've dealt with this AgriDome quite a lot before now, and you've got quite a few customers who are interested in it.
True.
And so I would like, your assistance as we go through the presentation here today. So let's get cracking with that.
100%, yes, let's get going.
All right. Basically, guys, the format is I'm going to do a short presentation on the AgriDome, and then when that is done, we will have a bit of a back and forth with anybody who might have some questions for us. Okay. So basically, this is what the AgriDome looks like. Really awesome product here from AgriDome, and it's got so many different applications and different ways that you can basically put it together with all the different sides and all that you can use on this AgriDome, and we'll cover that today.
Just want to say the one that you see in the middle, that is actually the one that we have right here at the factory.
Oh, is that our? That's
yes,
our one.
That's
Okay. No, awesome. So, and over there we obviously put it on these containers. Okay, a little bit about AgriDome. The company has been around for quite a long time. We were established in 1992. AgriDome has really dealt with integrity in our business dealings throughout the years, and we do strive to keep to our core value of integrity. Yeah. And we've installed 8,400 plus water tanks over the years. AgriDome started as focusing on the water storage solutions and liquid storage solutions, and we've branched out a little bit now to the other products such as the awesome AgriDome here that we're showcasing today. The company is obviously quite innovative and adaptable, as you can tell, with different products that we are putting into the South African market, such as the AgriDome on-site shelter. And how we're going to run through this today, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the agribusiness issues, the specifications of the tank, show you a lot of examples of what the shelter can look like once it is in place, some of the great features and benefits, different options that you have when it comes to specifications and designing, and we can design it according to your needs, and some of the typical applications that the AgriDomes are used for right around the world. We'll come to a conclusion, and then we'll have a chance for some questions and answers.
Always looking forward to those because there's very interesting questions coming out from the audience.
Yeah, definitely, and everything that we wouldn't have covered in the presentation.
True.
Then we can definitely assist you with that. All right, so some of the common issues all agribusinesses face. They have low animal production due to stress, and this is probably more likely in the shelters, the steel shelters that you see, which are not always the most natural environment to place your animals, and they can be quite noisy when it rains, and the environmental conditions can be stressful for your animals. So you want to put them in a situation where that is the least stressful possible.
True.
Right? Everybody will benefit from that. Livestock theft is definitely a problem.
Big problem in South Africa, especially if you leave your livestock out in the veld.
In the veld, yeah, you would need to have them covered, definitely. High maintenance costs on your buildings and your structures. The expensive steel structures, they can be very pricey, especially the larger ones, the bigger you go. High livestock mortality, some of the harsh African weather conditions, And this, I think, that's what I love about the AgriDome. It's almost as if it was designed for our conditions here in South Africa. It really is a great product to keep your animals safe, or your storage safe, and out of these harsh weather conditions that we can get here in South Africa, especially the sunshine and some of the hard storms and stuff that we get around here. And in some areas you've got even snow and so on. So yeah, we definitely have a full bag of harsh weather conditions here, and the AgriDome will be able to help you out with those. So the AgriDome is one of the most versatile dome shelter structures in South Africa, and like Charles says here, it is the structure of 100 uses. And what I really like this, what they've done here, they've placed it on gum poles, and you've got your, looks like it's probably a dairy farm. And so this is, the bread and butter of the farmer. This is his livelihood, and he wants to take great care of them. And we have, I know for a fact, we've put up one of these AgriDome shelters for a dairy farmer just outside of Bronkhorstspruit here quite recently. And that is a great solution, You can just see what it looks like when it comes to your animal stock.
Yes.
Shelters.
So the animals are standing on mulch, so it's nice and dry. You don't get rot on the feet as well, because it's not always moist on underfoot.
Yeah, and what we'll show later is how easy it's going to be to create your feedlots around here, and your entire management of your livestock will become so much easier with a simple solution like an AgriDome, just using a different shelter. All right. So that's a nice picture there that we have. This looks like one of the colder areas, and it is suitable for those conditions.
Yeah, you'll find these in areas like Canada, where they have it there's quite substantial use of that, and also in Australia. So you do have the two, say extremes in terms of weather. So for South Africa, not a problem at all. You can utilize it any which way, whether it's in Lesotho or in the Eastern Free State or down in the Karoo, not a problem at all.
Gotcha, yeah. So it's the finest materials and design, exceptional craftsmanship. And I think we can all agree it does look great. It is an aesthetically pleasing product.
Yeah.
Not like some of these normal stores that we are gotten used to around South Africa.
It's not cramped and dark.
Yeah, definitely. There's nice sunshine exposure there, and I think it'll even make a nice working environment for everybody who works under a structure like that. So
yeah, it does actually.
It's really cool. Easily customizable, seamless customization.
Yeah, that's in terms of your lengths and your widths, and we'll get to that.
So your AgriDome, it doesn't shrink. This is due to the PVC roof material that we actually use for these domes. It doesn't swell. It doesn't split. You can imagine in conditions like this shoal with snow and they got winters there that are going -10, -20 degrees Celsius, and what kind of conditions those are under, and it works fantastically there.
Yeah.
And so even here on the opposite spectrum, where we're looking at 30, 40 degrees plus, it's just going to work great. And we'll get a little bit more into the actual PVC structure, the actual PVC lining that's used for that roof as well. It won't warp, it doesn't rust or rot over time.
Yeah, that's also because your beams and your poles are actually undercover.
Yeah.
So it protects
It's
itself.
protected, yeah. Awesome. And corrosion won't be a problem because, as you say, your beams and everything is under the PVC cover, so it protects the actual poles themselves as well. Some of the sizes that are available on the AgriDome, they start from 2.2 meters in height and 6 meters wide in the span. And then you've got your maximum there, 6.5 meters in height and a 30-meter span. It must just be noted that that's the span from the height from basically from here to there, from here to the top of the dome. So you can place your dome on gum poles, on brick walls, on concrete structures, on container domes.
That's it.
And you can actually establish your own height from here, but from your span to the apex of the dome there to the actual height, it's going to be those heights that I mentioned now.
That's it.
And some have actually put them down on the ground. So
That's very true.
a 6.5 meter height in the middle, I mean, you can imagine that's quite a high structure. So it's not even a total necessity for your storage solution to place it on something else. You can place it straight on the ground as well.
Exactly. And what you will find, you'll see with the sheep farmers, they will oftentimes have the gum poles as short as 1 meter. And then the dome on that, whereas your cattle farmers would go to 2.4 meters. And then guys that actually use it as workspace, they might go up to 3 meters and then put it across. So that is really up to the client.
You've got space for days. You can get your trucks in there. You name it. I mean, it's really going to just work for everybody. Excuse me. All right. Yeah. So this is some of the examples we have of the domes themselves,
just
based on gum poles.
If you look underneath there, I don't know if you can see underneath there, but you'll see there's a few vehicles underneath there, and they actually look small. So it just gives you an idea how big this dome can be and how much of space you have underneath it.
True, yeah, that's great. It's just so spacious. You've got your standard lengths here of 6 meter lengths and 12 meter lengths. Our minimum length on the AgriDomes are 6 meters. And then we will, as we will also show later, you can stack them one in front of the other, get your own customized lengths that you require, and they will actually slot in nicely with one into the other. We're able to do that, and then you can make it as long as you need it, but your minimum length will be a 6 meter AgriDome.
Correct.
Right, so here we're looking at some of the different options we do have available for the sides of your AgriDomes. You've got your concrete walls, wooden pillars, and your containers. These drawings will also be available for your projects. If you require some drawings, then we can put them together for you and put it together a very nice proposal for you. They are aesthetically pleasing. They mount on gum poles, like these 200 millimeter in diameter wooden pillars here, or concrete walls. They mount on top of containers and create shelter for workers and equipment.
Yeah, there's guys that want to mount this on I-beams as well. The I-beams are very expensive. So we also have some clients that are now looking at putting it on round poles.
Okay.
So the round poles is a new thing that we are putting up due to demand.
Okay.
So
yeah, the round poles. Okay. Yeah. And I-beams. That's right. Yeah, I-beams can work for this as well. So if you don't want to get totally away from your steel, you can still use your I-beams if you want them. All right, mount on top of containers. Actually, I'll just hit recording there for us, please, man.
Sorry, we just have
there
a
we go.
technical issue there. Let me just get that going.
I think you pushed the play button. Just give me. Excuse me, guys. I'll be with you in a minute. We just need to. There we go. All right, and then we've got the stack containers 1, 2, or 3 high for tall equipment. So you can actually stack 3 containers on top of each other. What's the height of those containers? About 2.4, 3 meters, something like that?
2.6 meters.
2.6, okay.
Each of them.
Yeah. So you can imagine how high you can go with your container dome if you place your dome on top of a container. Right, here we go. These are, I love these. These are pretty awesome. These easily stackable walls to add volume to the AgriDome, whether be it for additional grain storage or bigger workshops and so on. And AgriDome can actually provide you with these concrete walls as well. Okay, so we can put together a proposal that has these walls included as the whole proposal.
Yeah, we call them bunker walls.
The bunker walls. Yeah. Great stuff. Maybe we should start thinking about building bunkers here in South Africa. Who knows that?
Could be an idea.
All right. Concrete walls. Yeah, that's awesome. Hot dipped galvanized roller structural steel. That's the actual steel that we use for the poles that are going across there. And it is the industry leading 700 gram per square meter PVC UV stabilized ripstop. And the best way for me to explain what ripstop actually is if you look at like these big SAB trucks and those guys,
Exactly.
the material on the sides of those trucks, that's ripstop. That's the ripstop PVC. And you can always think to yourself what conditions those trucks are going through.
Yeah.
And that ripstop is just not tearing, it's not going anywhere. So it's a really great product. It's extremely durable. It's rated for cyclonic events, so that means wind speeds of up to 249 kilometers per hour. So don't let the AgriDome fool you. This AgriDome can withstand wind speeds of about 250 kilometers per hour.
That is a really big storm. I mean, if you look at a wind of 100 kilometers per hour is already a vicious wind. It
Absolutely.
will take you away, and that thing can withstand it, no problem.
No, without a doubt, that is really awesome. So yeah, no, in my opinion, no excuses. This AgriDome can withstand it all. It's a little bit more about the PVC versus normal polyethylene tensile test results. So we are using this 720 gram per square meter PVC material. Yeah. And just look at the elasticity and the tensile strength and the elongation at breaking point versus your polyethylene. Yeah. Charles, just want to take over there because you explained something quite interesting with this elongation at break and why that's important.
Okay, so first of all, the polyethylene is the material that you would use on a vegetable tunnel. So
that's
transparent one. Right. So what you don't want is you don't want this thing to actually stretch and then not come back, because the moment you have that, it will start sagging and pulling. Yeah. So if it does stretch, you don't want it to stretch a lot, and you want it, if it did stretch, to come back. So what is interesting to see here is, first of all, the tensile strength, in other words, before it actually starts stretching, is twice that of polyethylene. All right, and you also then have more than twice the elasticity, meaning it's got twice the tendency to come back.
I see.
All right, so. But the polyethylene, when it does start stretching, will stretch 7 times more than it starts tearing than the ripstop. Okay, right. And that is then, the moment you have that, you have the pooling.
And it stretches, won't come back.
It won't come back.
And that's when you start getting weak points as well.
Exactly.
I would imagine in your polyethylene.
If you take that with you compare that with a truck, the moment the sail or the sides are not taut, they start flapping and they start then tearing.
Yeah.
So you want it to be taut, because that will keep it in the shape that it must be.
It keeps it in shape. Yeah, fantastic. All right, so custom lengths, this is what we were talking about earlier, stacking them one in front of the other. You can go as far as you need to, and just look how nicely we can actually place them together for you guys. And here's all sorts of different examples of the custom lengths that we can give you. Some really nice pictures we got here, and I would definitely say it does make economic sense. This is a big old warehouse we got going on here. You know, that just looks great.
That's it, and also the bigger you go, the more cost effective it actually becomes per square meter.
Definitely, it definitely makes, as you say, economic sense. Some different examples of warehouses here. These fellows placed them on some of these containers there. This is what we refer to as a container dome. Okay. 2 containers stacked on top of each other. Looks great.
That's nice and stackable. It actually gives you a very nice height. If you flip that one over, you'll see, there you go, you flipped it over. So that is the height that you get. If you look at the single stack ones there, sort of on the left of the screen, that's already a lot of space, but the ones on the right is what we looked at just before.
And I saw a photo we got on here as well, where the guys have made offices out of these container domes, or more storage space, either or. So you can think for yourself what kind of awesome structure you can actually put into place using these AgriDomes for any business, basically any solution that you might need for your business.
True. It's a very nice application, that.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, it's kind of like got a green vibe to it as well. I like that. Okay, some of the key features. It gives you maximum usable space. You're not wasting space with all different corners and so on. And maintains its shape. That's because of the great materials that are used in the production of these AgriDomes. It's not treated with chemicals, so it's safe.
That's true. Safe for humans and animals.
Rainwater coming down, it's not going to cause any kind of toxicity. It's got that beautiful, strong ripstop PVC cover. It is a controlled climate, and this is another great thing about the AgriDome, that it stays cooler in the summer and it actually stays warmer in the winter. So you can get some really nice climate control going on if you use these AgriDomes.
Interesting, because you have shade in summer, there's between a 3 and a 5 degree difference between outside of the dome and inside. And then similarly, in winter time, because it's like a big blanket.
Sure.
So it insulates the air insides, and it also makes a huge difference in terms of keeping the temperature on an even keel.
Yeah, I think that's the key. That's the insulation that it actually offers from those elements, versus like a steel structure. It's not going to give you that insulation.
It won't.
Yeah. It self-cleans with rain, low maintenance, and it's a low cost per square meter. Fast construction, that is true. The construction of the AgriDomes is actually quick and easy. It can be used as a permanent or temporary structure, and it's manufactured according to SABS standards. That's all the materials that are used. We offer a 10-year warranty, so you guys are covered for that. And that all puts together what is referred to as BOSS, which is the best of storage solutions. It's a BOSS structure.
There you go.
Some of the benefits: it gives you unencumbered space.
No, you don't trip and fall over poles and uprights.
True. And there's even on the site, I mean, you can actually, if you can have really, as you say, unencumbered space. The maximum use of the space that you have available is offered by the AgriDome. It's awesome. It maintains its shape. There's no worry about this AgriDome starting to warp, as we've shown earlier, or look funny over time. Pests and pollutants. Now, this is a great one for me, because if you look at your square, the traditional steel structures, again, sorry for the guys in the steel industry, I don't want to rag on you, but if you look at if you look at the traditional steel square structures, you're always going to find, especially if it's open, there's going to be critters and doves and things making their nests. And
there's no place for nesting.
And there's no space for them to do that. So it's going to stay cleaner and healthier. And it's just going to, these small little nitpicky things are not going to bother you if you have this AgriDome. A controlled climate, once again, great acoustics. I like that.
That's very interesting. If you let's say you have a thunderstorm and that goes with hail.
Yeah.
If you have a steel structure, that clattering, causes a lot of stress with the animals.
Sure,
you know what, with this, they hardly ever hear it. All they hear is that calm noise.
That's it, yeah. And that is also a benefit for, especially guys who want to keep livestock under these domes. A huge benefit, actually, is keeping your animals happy,
That's it.
So, lovely interior sunlight, that is true.
Yeah, the material is translucent, so it's not altogether sunlight through it, so it still protects you from UV, but you have ample light in there.
Definitely, and the way it's structured as well, good ventilation, it's nice and fresh, lovely. Lower cost versus traditional methods. It doesn't require a building permit.
That's interesting. Sometimes it can take you up to 18 months to get a building permit for a big structure, and all you want to do is you just want to put something up to protect your animals or your means of production. And
just think of the amount of time you're going to save. You can get cracking with your projects, no problem. Hey? Awesome. And a strong construction. I think we've proved that with the specs this AgriDomes are manufactured to and designed to. Everything by AgriDome, guys, is engineered, designed. We do spare no expense when it comes to R&D and so on, and we can attest to that fact. Some of the available options: width and length options, mounting options.
Sidewall. Yeah, we already done all the width and length options.
Yeah,
So,
end wall options. All right, so the gum poles, steel poles, or concrete, steel pillars, sorry, and concrete pillars. That's nice. So you got your gum poles there. Concrete walls, which again, AgriDome can provide those bunker walls, which is great. Shipping containers.
you can put the container inside or outside.
Yeah, awesome. And then you've got your combination poles and container. You know, looking at this now, you can even store some stuff at the top there. It gives you a little bit of extra room. You know, nice possibilities that we got with this kind of solution. Combination wall and container. And these are all the little designs that were done here by our draftsman Leon. So thanks for that, Leon. The half wall, so we can actually close it at the front for you guys. Get a full wall, and then you've got your full wall with a door. And then even on the sides, we can offer you PVC side curtains. That's awesome. And some partial side curtains as well, or you can get those that open and close. You know.
Yeah. So
just it takes whatever's required for the specific solution. I think we can really offer pretty much the full bag of tricks here.
Yeah, there's all of them together.
There they are.
What we didn't have on there is troughs. You can actually put troughs all along the one side as well.
Yeah, your feeding troughs and stuff. And we're going to look at some of those a little bit later as well with when it comes to your animal storage. Okay, uses and applications. I mean, these guys just made a really nice little warehouse. That's an equestrian arena. They made a little equestrian arena.
Yeah, it's an indoors ring.
Inside this AgriDome structure. Just looks fantastic, eh? Just look at the great lighting they got going on there. Yeah. Beautiful.
So they can do that all year round, no problem.
Yeah, winter, summer, definitely. Yeah. Right, so here we got the animal feed lots. I think I don't see a feedlot there in the middle, but I think if we go here, so this is one that was placed on the side. Now, seeing as we offer those bunker walls, we can also offer these kind of feed troughs to our customers.
Just the concrete. This one is made of wood and a little bit, so you can. The one that we offer is
not exactly like this one in picture, but something which is even going to look better and be better than what this looks. Yeah.
So on that, what you do is you have the two domes that is parallel to each other, and you have the access way in the middle.
Yes.
And then as the tractor goes through on the trailer, they can dispense the feed on both sides, so you save a lot of time as well.
Definitely. And as I've definitely noticed, especially last year, the Nampu and so on, the guys who really get excited about this AgriDome is sheep farmers because of, just like you said now, how it's going to make their life so much easier, having feed troughs and everything, and managing your animals will be made so much easier if you've got something like this AgriDome structure.
Yeah, on this one, the dome are actually a little bit higher, and then on the sides they normally have the side curtains that we used before. So depending on what the farmer actually wants, it's either higher or lower side curtains.
Yeah,
and the options is yours.
So feed storage, that's really cool. I like those equestrian sports arenas. So for the guys who are into the equestrian industries and so on.
I've been asked if somebody can actually have a wedding function under that, and you know what?
Of course, yeah, of course. You know, I was thinking, you can even have like these people who have their little festivals and so on, your markets and so on. They can have they can use it for that as well.
Yeah, the one option that we have there with the roller blinds, that was actually an option that we brought in specifically for somebody that wanted to have a market area.
Yeah. And
they wanted to have those to, just to weatherproof themselves.
Fantastic. Yeah, this guy's happy. He's not out in the sun. He's well covered, and the light is great inside. Nice fresh air, but still covered, and he seems quite chuffed with that. So there's some of your warehousing options, and this is the one I like with the container domes, where they actually turned it into extra or additional storage space. And now you can think for yourself. There you can place your offices, or you can do all kinds of different things there as well. So just a little bit of imagination. Just look at what can be achieved with these structures.
As just if you do a very large one, dockyards is always a problem because everything always rusts and it's always difficult to build.
Yeah.
So it's a temporary structure and it doesn't rust. There
Wonderful.
you go, perfect solution.
That's great. Workshops and work areas, border posts, and that also means access control. So,
That's it.
Yeah, so I like that. You can use it for your access controls to your larger areas. Heavy machinery and equipment, and look at this big boy, fits under that 3 stacked containers there, fits in quite nicely. And your aircraft hangers, I think that's a great solution as well there.
Yeah, if you look at what the aircraft hangar would cost you, it's not a cheap structure at all.
Yeah.
So this is a very nice, quick solution.
Yeah. He's got, what is that, a chopper there and a plane?
Oh, it's a gyrocopter.
A gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so walls without a roof is a muration. A roof always provides shelter, with or without walls. And isn't that apt for the AgriDome, eh?
It's very, very true. It's exactly right.
So we call it super strong. You'll call it peace of mind. I can only agree with that. So that is the AgriDome. We've got you covered. And this is where you can contact us. We're available. You can call straight in. We are at 086 100 1010. www.equidam.co.za and send us a mail with any questions you might have, sales@equidam.co.za. We are always active on Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube, and we do these streams once a week on various different applications of our products and all kinds of interesting things with regards to what AgriDome can offer everybody. Along with the AgriDome, we also do water storage and storage solutions. So yeah, that is our game. So guys, if you've got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them. I see Rob is there still with us. If you've got a question for us there, Rob.
Or anybody else as well?
Anybody else?
Yeah, what I also just want to touch on, you mentioned something like offices before. I've had a request where somebody wanted to put and specifically up in Africa, where they were on tribal land.
Yeah.
And they were scared at the moment they have a project that is now up and running, that they might be kicked off the ground, and then all the infrastructure, permanent infrastructure, could then be wasted.
Yeah.
So what the guys did...
It's a huge investment.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
So what the guys now did is they took 2 6-meter containers on one side, and the one was actually made into a small micro house. The second one was turned into an office. The third one was turned into a workshop, and the fourth one was turned into plain storage.
Yeah.
Well, it remained plain storage. And then in the middle, they had their vehicles, their work area. It's a brilliant solution for what they wanted. It's temporary. There you go.
Fantastic. Isn't that great? All right, so Billy, I don't think we see any questions there on the Zoom, guys. I think we might have just about covered everything. Are we good? All right, thanks, Billy. Thanks for your help outside there. Everybody, next week we are going to be starting a new series. It's going to be all about the different applications that our products can offer you. And specifically next week, we're going to talk about aeration in water tanks. I forget who's going to be the hosting of that next week.
I believe that's.
Are we going to draw straws?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Billy, because Billy is quite well versed with the aeration.
Okay.
But it's very exciting that we now go into all the different applications, because it's not only the products. It's to see how the products are utilized.
Correct.
That makes it actually exciting.
I mean, everybody is well aware of what AgriDome's got in its arsenal now.
That's it.
And it's time to show you what these products can do.
That's it.
So yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody next week, Thursday, 3 o'clock, and we will see you then.
Perfect.
Thanks, Charles. Thank you so much for putting together a presentation for us. Really awesome. Well done. And thanks again for co-hosting with me today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. All right.
All right. Ciao, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good one.
Cheers, thank you, bye-bye.
Ciao.